Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Anna Deme and I make videos about motherhood and lifestyle. So if that's your type of thing, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you here and join the family. So I'm gonna go back into memory lane. I have my phone here. I'm gonna go to my channel and open up that video where I packed my hospital bag and review all of the things that I brought and tell you what I actually use. First time mom mistakes are a real thing, and the next time I have a baby, my hospital bag is gonna look a little bit, maybe a lot different than it did the first time. First things first is car seat. You definitely need to bring the car seat to the hospital because you gotta bring your baby home. So you need that. And a stroller is optional. You can either carry the car seat or you can just bring the base of your stroller and put that in the back of your car. It's so much easier, especially if you're not giving birth in a city and you're not walking anywhere, to just carry the car seat. I gave birth in Toronto, so I decided to bring the base of my stroller just in case we had to walk all the way back to the parking lot. My car seat and stroller work together. They're the Uppa Baby brands. I have videos for both of those if you want to check those out. So the next thing that I brought was the sound machine. So funny thing about this Skip Hop sound machine is that I used it so much, but guess what? I didn't bring it inside the hospital, which probably would have helped the first night because the first night is like crazy. The baby is, fresh out the womb and missing like the sounds and the warmth of you. So big mistake that I brought it in the car, but I never brought it inside. Babies hear a lot of noise when they're in the womb, so maybe it'll help you. I don't know if it would have helped me in the hospital, but I did use it a ton after we got home. So I decided to pack all of my things into a plastic rolling suitcase, which I found to be, easy to use. I've only given birth once, so I found it very easy to use, very easy to clean out after, and it was easy to just open it and put it up on the counter, or actually we kept them on the chair open the whole time, and my husband had half of the suitcase and I had the other half, and it was easy to just grab things out of there rather than, just ruffling through a whole bag of stuff. The next thing that I packed were the packing cubes. I don't know, I feel like I brought too many packing cubes, if you know what I mean. Like there was like one for clothes, one for makeup, one for another thing, one for body washes, one for, there was too many packing cubes. I love the idea of packing cubes and they were helpful. I just wish I didn't pack everything into them. So what I would do is probably not pack my clothes into the packing cube. The clothes can just go on their own, just in the suitcase, flat out or rolled up. Maybe rolled up would be best so you know which outfit is what, and it would be easier to grab that way. But in terms of the packing cubes, I would definitely pack like essentials in there. So maybe your nursing bras and nursing tanks, so you can distinguish that those are different from just like pajamas. Your toiletries can be packed in those cubes, and your pads and like all those extra little bits and pieces. But to have like every single thing in a compartment was a little bit too much for me personally. So next up, I brought my thin always pads. I think I brought too many. I wish I had brought more Depends underwear, because I think those were just easier to maneuver and use in the beginning stages of postpartum. You don't know how you're gonna be the first time you give birth and how your postpartum will look. You might pack for a vaginal birth but end up having a C-section, so it's better to be more prepared than not. So if you are a first-time mom giving birth, probably do pack your pads that you think you want to use. Next up, I brought, of course, those Depends underwear. Those were lifesavers. I absolutely loved how easy to use they were. You just put them on, no thinking, no brainer, take them off when they're, dirty, and that's that. And whoever makes fun of you for buying those and using those, because I had family members like make fun of me for buying Depends, shame on them, and who cares? Because they honestly were a lifesaver. You don't want to deal with like pads and like all these different, gadgets and things. You just want things to be easy and flawless when you're in those like beginning stages. Trust me on this one. Bring Depends underwear. I think I brought like 4 or 5, no, maybe 6. I think I brought 6. Worst case scenario, your loved one, your husband, or whoever's with you in your postpartum care can always run out and get you some more, but I would pack enough for, I don't know, maybe 3 days worth. Then next up, we have Preparation H wipes. Now, this is a major regret. I did not use this at all. I didn't even open it in the hospital. I didn't even take it out of the suitcase. I think mostly because I was using the Mama's Earth Pyrenyl spray. That was so much better for me. I did not want to wipe down there, and I don't think you're supposed to wipe down there. I think the idea of bringing those was literally just to place them down on the Depends underwear or on the pad just for a soothing effect. but I never used it because the parental spray was just so much easier to use. Next up is my favorite product. It's the Mom Frida Peri bottle. I absolutely loved it. To be honest, I have a little love-hate relationship with the, Peri bottle, because you do get one at the hospital and you are spending money for something that like you're gonna need like this much out of your whole entire life, but it's my favorite product that I brought to the hospital. It was super easy to use, very ergonomic. It shoots right in there and you can control the pressure. I think that's why it worked so well, is because you can control the pressure, and I loved it. So if you are not on a budget and you can handle buying that, I think it's like 35 bucks. I don't remember how much it costs, but if you are not on a budget and you can afford to get it, I'd get it. I brought slippers, they are a must. Hospital floors, you don't know how often they wash them. And I'm like a huge germaphobe, so these were amazing. I had cozy slippers and I also had shower slippers. In terms of clothing, I think I did pretty well with clothing. I think the only thing that was kind of a bust was the bra, the nursing bra and the nursing tank, because okay, especially if you're a first-time mom, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to squeeze your breast to get it into your baby's mouth in the beginning, especially like I was a mom during COVID and I could not take any courses until like the day of she was born. Then people were coming in and showing me all the things. But at that point, I was way too tired to even grasp any concept. So the nurses didn't like that I kept wearing like all these fancy bras, because they just wanted me to feel comfortable and literally have like super ease of access to the boobies. So I think I ended up just wearing my robe the whole time. Not my robe, sorry, my like my sleeping gown, and a robe on top. So that's the thing that I wore the most the first whole day. And then when I finally showered, I put on my pajamas, and that was really nice. I thought I was going to be freezing at the hospital, but we got a window room, and with the summer and the sun seeping through the window, our room was like a sauna. So I was sweating, and I wish I brought 2 gowns. So my biggest advice to you is, if you are bringing pajamas, bring 2 sets of each. I would personally recommend you bring a kind of like a strappy sleeping gown, 2 of those that you can throw a robe on top if you're cold. So layering would be great. And then 2 cozy pajamas, 1 kind of like pant style, maybe 1 short style, and maybe an extra pant, just pajama pant. I brought 1 robe, and it just made me feel so comfy and cozy at night when it was cold. And then in the morning when people would come in, you can also throw it on just to cover up a little bit. But honestly, nobody cares. They're all doctors. They see this all the time. They're there to help you. But mainly if you're cold, you can throw it on. It's easy to, open up if you need to breastfeed. So bring a robe, just at least 1. I think 1 would be enough at that point. All right, so in terms of toiletries, I did not use a lot of them because you just are so tired. The main thing I would say is bring a body wash, your favorite one, because that's going to make you feel so good at the hospital. Bring a shampoo and a conditioner, and your makeup remover, or just a facial soap that can remove your makeup in one go. Those kinds of things are like key to the beginning newborn stages. You want something that is quick and easy. And to be honest, the first day I was so exhausted, I didn't even take out my face wash. I used my body wash, my Dove body wash, to scrub my whole face off the next day. So bringing the 3 toothbrushes actually was like a blessing in disguise. I didn't use it, but I actually almost dropped the toothpaste I was trying to open. And luckily I would have had another one I could have opened, but I didn't. And yeah, I think that's a really good idea. You can bring 3 toothbrushes just in case, and of course toothpaste. And actually the first day, it was such a long day that when we first got to the room, we actually just used the Listerine real quick first. And we were so tired, we were waiting for the nurse to come back or something. We ended up falling asleep. So then the very next day, we ended up brushing our teeth. But mind you, she was born at 2:30. So by the time we got to our room, it was already like 4, I think. I don't remember. It was such an insane experience. Okay, so the thing with Colace, I don't know how to say it, is that my nurse actually didn't want me taking my own laxative. She told me that if I needed something to relieve myself, that I would have to tell her, and they brought me their own laxative. So that's what happened with that. I didn't even use it. I think I, to this day, never used this Colace. The hair ties in the clip were really good. I wish I brought more hair ties. Ladies, take note. You need a bunch of hair ties, because hair ties can go missing. I only brought 2. You want to bring like 4, I think, because because I think I lost my first one and the second one broke. That was annoying because I actually needed my hair up for breastfeeding and stuff. Like, it was always in the way in her face. So bring extra hair ties. Okay, so this is a little bougie, but I actually use this. I felt so hot during labor. I had a little fan, which is also really good to bring. I had a little fan as well as this, and it kept me so nice and refreshed. So the Q-tips and makeup pads were a little bit extra in this whole situation, and I think I brought too many anyways. I would have brought less Q-tips and makeup pads, and maybe not bring them at all. The toner and the makeup remover I did not get to use because, again, I totally used my body wash to remove my makeup, but that little travel size double serum, the stuff that I usually use, was amazing because, you know, it was really small to pack and it's something that I always use, and I definitely use that one there. All right, so next up is makeup. I brought a couple of makeup essentials. I did not even use it. It was really good that my makeup essentials were packed in a little bag. So as soon as I knew I was going into labor, I did my makeup. I know this is, you know, weird. I wanted to capture the birth and look normal on camera. So for me personally, makeup was important, but obviously, it's going to be a personal choice for you. Do you want to do your makeup during your labor or not? So for me, that was a yes. Next up in the video, I go through what my husband and I packed for him. I can't really comment too much on it because he was like so out of it. He was so tired and he barely used anything. I don't know if the next time we ever do this, if we do this again, he's going to pack the same things. But from what I noticed, he did use 2 t-shirts and 2 pairs of pants, and obviously he did change his underwear, so he used a pair of underwear and a pair of socks. The only thing other than that we had a major problem with, and a big mistake I made, is not bringing towels, like normal showering towels. They give you like these itty bitty little towels that don't cover anything and are just like so thin. In terms of snacks, honestly, what a waste of space, and just too many things. If you're giving birth in a city with a ton of places, food places around, and Uber Eats like readily available, don't bring this many snacks. I would have honestly just brought like a Nutri-Grain each, a banana each, and just your water bottle, and that's it. Well, I mean, if you're giving birth in the night and everything's closed, maybe it makes sense, but I think for the person giving birth, you're not like up for eating. You don't necessarily want to eat. I was kind of hungry before I gave birth because it was like still during the day. It was like dinner time as I was getting induced, so I was kind of hungry, but still, my husband went out, as you saw in the birth vlog, and got me snacks and food and all that stuff. So I actually forgot to bring my prenatal. We were there for what, 2 days, and I got home and I got right back to taking them. But the Yeti water bottle was a big hit. It was amazing. I would definitely pack the Yeti again. It was one of my most used products. I drank from it. I finished the whole bottle, and then the nurses even replenished it for me. So definitely bring a water bottle. The Yeti's great. It's very expensive, but it keeps your liquid cool if you're like, you know, a hot body and you're pregnant and you're feeling hot. I definitely recommend a Yeti. So the next whole section is like all the equipment, and you guys see me like opening this massive like SWAT looking Pelican case that holds all of our equipment. Again, we wanted to capture it and put onto YouTube. So we had a ton of stuff, but I gotta tell you, there is one thing that I used the most, and it is this iPhone clip. It was amazing. It had a little light on it. I was able to place it and be hands-free and eat while I FaceTimed parents during delivery, after delivery. It was honestly incredible, and all the nurses were just like raving about it and saying, oh my god, what an amazing idea, so handy. So that is probably something anybody and everybody can use, and you can use it after your delivery. You know, if you're cooking and you're hands-free, you're with the baby. I typically just clip it onto our kitchen island, and I can FaceTime family while I'm cooking and with the baby and whatnot. And yeah, so if you want to get a interesting gadget that helps you hold your phone and has a little Diva ring light, go ahead and get it. I'll link it down below. But other than that, also the fan was really useful, as I mentioned. Charging cables for the iPhones are important too. And I've also linked the ones we got down below. All right, so last but not least, baby's bag. I decided to add it to this video, so it's just, you know, all in one shot. You guys can see everything that we used, I used, and did not use. I think the baby's bag had the most regrets and things that like were so irrelevant in bringing. So I did pack all of our things into this Fawn Design diaper bag. I absolutely love it. I actually reviewed it in another video. I show you the big one and the small one and like justifying why I got it. So I brought her a car seat cover, definitely used it, was really good because, you know, COVID blocks out fumes, blocks out all those types of things. And we were actually giving birth in a city hospital. So going outside and going into the traffic, I was happy I had this. And this one is just like a dupe. I decided not to get any of those brand name ones because everything is just so expensive. Like it's a piece of cloth. So I'll link the one down below that I got. So this sign was actually irrelevant because I was induced, like it was a planned labor. We knew we would have time to go in, and like we knew we weren't going to be leaving our car anywhere, and we knew we were going to go and park and pay. Actually, I think we ended up using this. Yeah, I think we ended up using this because we didn't know how long we were going to stay in, like parked, and we had to pay for parking at the hospital we were at. So we actually ended up putting it into our dash, and then we paid for 2 days, I think. Or maybe, yeah, we paid for 2 days. And then if we would have overstayed, the stay didn't have time, you know, to go buy more time, that would have been in the windshield and hopefully it would have helped us. Baby on board, we did put that on the car once we had the baby. Purell, I don't remember using this. I'll be honest, I don't remember using hand sanitizer because there's a sink in the room. In every room you're at in the hospital, there's a sink. But it's good to have the sanitizer, you know, just ready for future trips. You don't have to bring it to the hospital though. So I think I used the headphones, and I think I used the pen. Yeah, I used the pen a lot because I didn't want to touch their pens. Again, I was delivering during COVID times, you know, like, plus I'm a germaphobe, what can you expect? And the last thing are breast pads because like I was gonna be like leaking right away, right? No, so this is like a regret. Your milk doesn't come in the hospital, girls. Like you have like colostrum that barely comes out in the hospital. Again, maybe this is just my experience. I don't know, but I heard that milk takes time to come in. You don't need breast pads, in my case, right away in the hospital. I would never pack this again. Diapers in case, you know, in the future we go somewhere, it's just already ready in the diaper bag. A whole roll of garbage diaper bags. Oh my God. Like I am such a first-time mom. I just can't. So I would definitely not bring that. If you have a far drive from the hospital to home and you'd like to change the baby, that makes sense, but don't bring a whole roll. So this breast pump, I don't remember if I actually brought it. I think I did, but I did not use it, and I kind of wish I did because that would have helped my milk come in faster. Maybe first day she was like screaming for food. I ended up giving her a little bit of formula in the hospital, like right from the get-go. I was like, she's screaming, like she's hungry, someone give her food, I don't have enough. And lo and behold, I gave her a little bit of formula and she finally fell asleep at night. Nipple shields, total waste of bringing them. So I brought my own Swaddles, which is fine. I did swaddle her in her own Swaddles, especially because my hospital Swaddles were so like rough and used. So that was good. That was good to bring. So the only thing I would do differently here is bring another swaddle that has like the Velcros or the zipper. I'm actually gonna do a video on all kinds of swaddles and ones that I've tried and the pros and cons of each because there's so many on the market. And I feel like as a first-time mom, you want to know each one and what it does. But honestly, swaddling with these kinds of, what are they called, Muslim blankets, like they are like Houdini babies. Like they can get out of those like this, especially certain babies right away. You swallow them, they're just like, just comes out right away. I also brought a cotton one, which was easier to wrap because it was nice and stretchy. And it was mainly for like getting her first picture, but I think I used it more than the Muslim one. Bows. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy. Everyone calls me crazy in my family because I call myself crazy. I've wanted a girl for so long, and I was so excited to like play dress up and dress her up. Okay, to be honest, I did put bows on her right from the get-go because I was taking pictures of her, right? Like while she's sleeping, you admire her and you put the bow on, but really it's not necessary in the hospital. Just if you really want to get that picture, bring 1 or 2. But I think I brought like 4 or 5. Like that's too much. All right, so outfits for babies. You don't need them, like whatsoever. You need one little comfy going home outfit and that's it, because nurses and doctors are coming in, opening the baby, poking, prodding, checking, like they're just forever opening the baby, unswaddling the baby, and the easier it is for them to unswaddle and check the baby, the better. And honestly, one of the nurses got pissed off because I put her in a onesie, in like one of those body suits, and she was like, take it off. Like, I can't do this every single time because, you know, the clips and whatnot. I don't know, maybe this is just my experience, but swaddling is just best, and maybe one going home outfit, and that's it. So that was probably the biggest mistake I made in her diaper bag, was bringing so many onesies. And in terms of the buttons, my button comment, To be honest, zippers like are aggressive and they are so thick, not thick, like they're so sturdy that they go and they ram into the baby's neck or like face if it's too big here. So honestly, buttons are the way to go because it's just like a button and it kind of lays on the skin and it doesn't, I don't know, like until you see what happens, you won't, I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but for a newborn, they're just laying there and they barely move, so it's so much easier to put the buttons on. When the baby gets bigger, then you want to use zippers because like you want to get that thing on and off fast when they're more like squirmy. But in the beginning, they're so little and they're so just like stable in their movements that buttons even work better. So I brought nipple butter. Again, why? Why are you bringing nipple butter to the hospital? Okay, to be fair, if you are going to be at the hospital for like a week, fine. But for 2 days, 3 days, I don't think you need nipple butter at the hospital. Am I wrong? Can you comment down below and let me know am I wrong? Like, do you really need nipple butter at the hospital? Because I never used, there's that copper and pearl blanket. And then I also have another thicker blanket, which was good because at night it did get cold. And her little name sign, which is fine. I would do that again. And I did use it. Spit up cotton cloth. I don't remember if I used it, to be honest. Did I use it? I don't think I used it. I brought 2 pairs of newborn socks. Like, no. Oh my god, like newborn socks don't even stay on. But honestly, I think I only wore 1 pair on the going home trip because she was in an outfit. But again, this is like so extra. You could just get like a romper, a footed onesie, whatever they're called, footed pajama, and you're good to go. So this wet dry bag, of course, was not used during the hospital stay, but an incredible product for your diaper bag for the future, for trips. You can put soiled clothes in there. You can put wet clothes in there. You know, food spilled all over the clothes, you can definitely pop it in that bag and it will protect your other things in your bag. So I highly recommend that product, but not for the hospital stay. I also brought a reusable change pad with me. Why? So diapers and wipes were actually given to me at the hospital, so those were only really good if we would have had to stop, you know, along the way on our drive home, which we had a long one. So I would say if you have a long drive from the hospital, put them in your hospital bag. But if you are really close to the hospital and you're just going from the hospital to home, you don't really need wipes and diapers. My hospital provided those to me, and actually they preferred their diapers because there's a strip. I was like, first time mom, like wanting all these cutesy wootsy things. I actually had honest diapers here, and I was like so convinced I was going to be like an honest diaper person, honest diapering mom. But no, they don't have the strip that shows if the baby peed or not. You're not gonna put your hand into the diaper and see if it's wet or not. You know, like honest diapers don't indicate if your baby peed or pooped. So they were using, I think, Huggies. So from the get-go, we fell in love with Huggies. In the beginning, we were using their special delivery ones, which are kind of like expensive, but they're super soft. And Alessia has super sensitive skin. So in the beginning, like she would have terrible rashes like on the sides of her legs, and just every diaper no diaper worked for her except for the Huggies special delivery. And then we switched over to just regular Huggies, and they all have that strip that becomes blue when the baby pees. And I just recommend that. I tried calculating to see if we can get cheaper diapers, and you're saving only like several dollars for some brand that doesn't do it well, and like the little pearls come out. So we love Huggies personally in our household. I remember actually putting on these diapers and the nurse was like so pissed at them. Oh my god. All right, so that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me understand if you like my content. Other than that, I hope you have a very good labor and delivery, a good postpartum. I'm actually working on a postpartum essentials video, so stay tuned for that. I have some good tips to share with you. And that's it, that's all. See you next week. Bye. Did you guys really think I forgot? I did not. And lastly, don't forget to always be yourself, be selfless, and never settle for less. Bye.